Good morning. I'm Candace, and this is Pilates with Fitness and Harmony. Engage the core for dynamic stability. Let's put some yoga elements in today's practice. I could use a little stretch today. It's one of those days, guys. Don't you feel it? It's one of those days. So let's kind of calm. Let's center and calm. So rock side to side. Find the floor. So find your seat. Inhale and stretch up. Exhale and lean over. Inhale through your nose as you come up. Exhale to lean over. Go as slowly as you can. And what I want you to find is a flow. That your breath is controlling dynamic. That means moving. So our bodies are always moving. Even when we're holding still in our final pose, we're always moving. We're always metabolizing. We're always flowing. So synchronize now the flow of your breath with the flow of your muscles. So we're going to discipline the muscles today to support a strong root. You are unbreakable. It doesn't matter what happens. You keep coming back for more, don't you? You just keep coming and you keep going. This time, come up, twist, or turn the body to one side. Let the arms down. Let's take a nice healthy stretch. Give the shoulders a roll. And then pull the shoulders onto the back. Then give the head a roll. And then align the crown of the head, almost dropping the chin a little bit down. And then unwind back to center. Let's do all of that again. Inhale, flow up. Exhale, scoop the belly in. Use your diaphragm muscle. So we're disciplining the diaphragm muscle to circulate energy throughout the body, to discipline the muscles, which the diaphragm is one, to support a strong root or a strong core. So where is there pressure? There's pressure all around us. There's pressure inside of us. There's pressures in our minds. Inhale, exhale to move your mind first through the muscles. So we're disciplining the muscles. And eventually finding a calm stillness. So this time twist in the opposite direction. Good, you got it. Let the arms down when you get there. Pull the shoulders forward and back. Forward and back. So you might be putting pressure on the shoulder blades. Now pull the shoulders down and a little bit back. Tip your head a little front to back or side to side, ear to ear is what I mean. Feel around. So using your senses to discipline the muscles for dynamic stability. That means that we want the muscles to move and be strong, not to be rigid or tense. Bring the head up and unwind back to center. Let's grab a weight. I'm going to take the feet out and in front. Grab a weight, anything that you've got, anything that has a little bit of weight to it. It can be one of these, it can be a light ball, but it can be just something that has a little bit of weight to it. Since I have a dumbbell, I'm going to take it by the ends and hold it in close to my chest. From here, roll halfway down. Then drop the chin, roll the shoulders forward, hollow out the chest, push the low back in towards the floor, then curl back up. So I want to try again. The weight's in close to the chest. We're rolling down. I'm saying halfway. I don't know. Maybe 30, 40 degrees. Hold there. Drop the chin. Roll the shoulders forward. Hollow out the chest. Push the low back in towards the floor. Pull the navel into the spine. And then from there, curl up and over. Again. Roll halfway back and hold. Drop the chin, roll the shoulders, pull the chest back, push the low back towards the floor, scoop the belly in, and then roll up. Exhale, come back, inhale, exhale, roll up. So those same things, the same attention to detail, remember the breath. Exhale, flow. Roll with the exhale. Exhale. So you're curling and crunching and rounding or waking up the nervous system so that the mind is in control of the muscles. So in most of these Pilates exercises, give you like a long list of the little cueing patterns that your mind is communicating to the muscles. Exhale. So the list here is chin to chest, roll the shoulders, hollow out the chest, push the low back to the floor, scoop the navel in, and then round up. So let me see how many things that is. And come down. Chin to chest 1, shoulders forward 2, chest in 3, low back pushing back 4, navel to spine 5, and then up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So exhale down, hold. As you come up, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if you pick like almost random spots along the spine, when I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in a stepwise fashion, 1, 2, 3, each little link of the chain has a communication with your mind, or your mind is telling that part of the spine to move, 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 move. I think that was 5. One more time like that. So put the mind in the movement. Put the mind in the movement. Come up. Hold the weight. I'm going to hold it the other way now, more like a cup. And then hinge halfway back, and then this time twist, 2, 3, and then back to center. Twist like I'm sort of pulsing, 2, 3, and back to center. Now I'm staying reclined the whole time. I'm like 30, 40 degrees back the whole time, as if I'm trying to spill my elbows onto the floor behind me. So the control is that we're not just going there, coming back. The control and the discipline between the mind and the muscle is that I have to think, how many times? 3. Down, 2, 3. At the same time, my muscle, who's used to doing contract, release, right? That's what we normally do, is having to say, wait, contract, contract, contract before you release. Contract, contract, contract. At the same time, you're managing the pressures around the waist. Keep the shoulders relaxed down. So we're balancing pressure around the waist and around the lungs. Exhale out like you mean it. Inhale like you mean it too. Exhale, 2, 3. 2 more times. Squeeze. We're creating a habit by doing this loop again and again and again. Last one. And then come all the way down. Okay, so I'm getting ivory. I have to go help her around. So come down to the floor. She just went straight down. I don't know if you saw that. She just went straight down. Okay. Grab your weights. We're going to take the weights. Now, I hope you have like 2 to 3 to 4 pounds, somewhere in that. Maybe 5 is okay. And just go straight up overhead. And contract the abdominals. So vigorously pull the navel to the spine. And then drag the weights up. I'm going to say for a count of like 5. So up and over, inhale. 5 back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now really what's happening when I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is my navel's going down, 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 down. Now of course I'm dragging the weight. So navel goes down, 2, 3, 4, 5. Focus on the core. If we train the core to have dynamic stability, 2, 3, 4, 5, then when we move haphazardly, as we do in everyday life, hopefully that core will be trained. There'll be a habit. So we're disciplining the mind to train the muscles. So discipline means do this, don't do something else, right? Don't worry about that beeper going off in your kitchen or whatever. Focus on what you're doing. So retrain your mind to be in the muscle. So one of the muscles we're working here now is latissimus dorsi, which is a big, pull down or pull up muscle, I guess you could think of it. But we're also training the dynamic stability of the core. So control the speed and the rate that you're moving. Also control that there's different pressures along the way. Like when the weights are way up here, there's not really that much pressure. So stay in the area, like drag through the area where it's hard. 2 more. Exhale, 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 exhale. The belly's going down each and every time. Last one. All right, we'll put the weights down. Cross one ankle, draw the legs in. You have to excuse me. I've been walking and doing lunges and things, so I have to stretch my glute. But a stretch is always good. So there's the biggest muscles of the body, glutes, the abs, the pecs, the chest, the latissimus dorsi. They're kind of the biggest muscles, the obliques, the quadriceps on the front of the legs. Even if you just take care of, let's say, 5 or 6 of those big muscle groups, you'll be doing much better. Let's switch to the other leg. So cross, pull in. Notice the flow of your breath. When we're doing our Pilates exercises, I am directing the speed, and so your breath is having to like dance along with my tempo. It's very unusual. So that actually just gets your attention, and that's what I'm meaning to do, is to focus your mind on what you're doing. Again, don't pay attention to the things outside. Let's come to bridge pose. So bring the feet to the floor, tuck the shoulders under so you make this little loop down and under. Press the palms into the floor, then lift the hips up. Keep lifting. So see if you can. It's okay if you want to use your hands to give your hips a little boost up to take this stretch on the front body. Remember, we've been working on this week also that we're trying to release any unpleasant emotions, any tensions, and those feelings that I have to stay closed off from the world. So we're trying to open up the front. Doing the pose communicates to your mind. Phineas is so cool. He doesn't mind. He doesn't mind that I'm doing a recording. He doesn't mind. Doing the pose communicates to your mind that it's okay. I can open up the front. Let's bring the hips down, pick up those weights. All right, sort of like what we did before. We're going to take the weights up overhead. Let's make room here. And then sweep the arms down around. If you have to like jump rope a dachshund, that's what you have to do. Scoop the weights together and up overhead. Arms out around, like kind of like a snowman, I guess, or angel, and then scoop up. All right, so this would be a good time for you to decide, I'm not going to use weights. So I would love it if you put your weights down and said, my shoulders don't need this much strength. They need more space. So create the space with your mind, but keep creating the discipline of the root. The root in this case is the core. The stronger and the more disciplined, and the more the core is creating dynamic stability, the less injury you'll have in your shoulders. You just got to kind of trust me on that. All right, every time you exhale, I don't care where you are in your motion, scoop the belly in and down. Down meaning the navel towards the floor. All right, you've probably not been working your shoulders this much lately. So I'm going to say one more after this one. Then we're going to leave the arms stacked up over the shoulders. So leave the arms, wrist, elbow, shoulder. Pull the back of the shoulders into the floor. Bend both elbows and extend up. All right. Here you go, people. Lift your knees up and stack. Now, breathe. Exhale, belly to floor. Exhale, belly to floor. Maybe you're moving much slower than I am, and that's okay. Exhale, belly to floor. 3. Keep remembering dynamic stability. So your waist is wrapping around your spine. Hold these arms up. Now, can you do this? As one leg extends out, the opposite arm reaches up overhead and they both come back up. As the other leg reaches out, the other arm reaches up overhead and they both come back up. Maybe inhale out. Exhale, drag back to center. Good. Control the muscle with your mind. So you're keeping the rectangle from the shoulders to the hips, those like 4 corners, you're keeping that rectangle engaged. You're pulling all the energies from your hands and your feet in to the core. So it's like your core is getting refilled. You're powering up the core and you're using the flow of your breath to stay steady and kind of calm. So nothing is frantic. I've seen Pilates classes where, you know, the instructor's like really going 100 miles an hour and jumping around. Pilates is as much about flow as it is about strength and kind of that fire, the fire of the energies. 3, put your mind back into the core. 2, and 1. So come back together, stay there. Let's try flying the arms out and in, out and in. Let's try extending the legs up. I don't know. Can we do it? Arms and legs go out and in. All right. So everything is balanced here. Before, the one we were doing just a moment ago, we were doing opposing sides, so there was a lot of spiraling and negotiating, but now everything is balanced, left and right, top and bottom. So put your mind back in the core and discipline your mind to stay there with the flow of breath. So you inhale, exhale, and the exhale is a cue. It's a habit. We're forming a habit loop that every time I exhale, even if I'm not paying attention to it, I'm strengthening around the core. 4, 3, ignite the core, so set that fire. 2, and 1. I think it's time to put these weights down. Come to your side, roll up. Let's come to hands and knees pose. Let's try that kind of bird dog. Like we do this often. One arm, one leg, stretch. Pull the elbow to the knee, push. Stretch out, and then down. So nice and slowly, one arm, the other leg, stretch. Go as long as possible. Then pull in and get the knee and the elbow pushing together. Stretch out long, reach, 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 and then come down. All right, now that you know the little dance move, it's stretch out, alternating, pull in and push, stretch out, and down. Now that you've got that, now integrate the flow of your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now that you've got that, train. When you exhale, pull the belly in. When you inhale, inflate the ribs. When you exhale, pull the belly in. When you inhale, inflate the ribs. So don't get overwhelmed, right? We're talking this week about being overwhelmed. Don't get overwhelmed. It's enough. Any part of this that you're doing is good. There's always a danger in when we're doing kind of a group movement exercise together to believe that one movement or one part of the movement is better than another. Because it may seem harder to you doesn't mean that it's actually like harder. It just means that something that you're not trained for. I see this a lot in Pilates. People say, my abs aren't nearly as strong as yours. I can't do that thing you're doing. I'm trained, meaning I've been doing this. I can't do things that you do all day long because I don't do that. So it's about putting the mind into what it is you are doing and creating a habit loop between the mind and the muscle in this case. So one more time, the other side. Then stretch back into child's pose. Let's move the wrists around and the other way. Take a deep breath in, interlace the hands, walk the arms out. So like your hands are hooking onto something in front of you and then you're pulling back or you're hanging off that cliff. Pull, pull, pull. Feel those lats. I don't know if you feel those lats. We did a little exercise with the lats before. Unhook the hands, then walk them off to one side. Take this trailing hand up and kind of over. Really reach it. Like you're going to go over there and get something. Drape your head down. Pull back. Pull down and back. Take a deep breath in. Then move all the way to the other side. Remember, this trailing arm comes up and over. It reaches as far as it can. It digs in or holds on to the hand, something like that. And you pull down and back. What dynamic stability means is that you're moving, but you're strong moving. Think about like a dancer. A dancer is super strong. They just look really fluid. Let's come up, grab the weight. What we're going to try to do, let's see, I'm going to flip here. What we're going to try to do is fly this weight out to the side and down. All right, what is important here before I try moving on is that your arm is kind of down more towards your waist and not up here towards your face. So if anything, the shoulder and the arm's a little bit down. That's sort of important. If you want to add on, like, today's your day, I'm really feeling great, take the opposite leg out, like a, knee out, pushing and down. All right, this is a very, very complicated move. It requires not only coordination, but this distribution of body weight and pressures. So what do you think you should do? Yes! Go back to disciplining the abs to hold tighter. You are unbreakable. Anything that happens, you can survive. You're going to figure out a way. But the important thing is that you survive well, meaning that there's breath there, that you're not creating undue stress. 3. This is getting to feel like undue stress, isn't it? And 1. Good, you did it. Let's switch to the other side. So first, get that fly going. The fly is that the arm is somewhat down, and it's just going out with a semi-bent elbow. It's a relatively light weight. These are important aspects. Please don't do this with a 20-pound dumbbell, unless you just always do. Let's say that that's who you are. Then at some point, take the opposite leg out and down. So if you want, equalize the pressure on the right and the left sides of the body. Remember, what is the root here? The core pulling in. So ignite it. Set the root on fire. 4, 3, 2. Let's come back to a seated pose for a moment. Come back up. We got to stretch. You feel that? The back of the shoulders. So just come to whatever seated pose is comfortable. Take one arm across your body. Pull the arm into the body. Let's do 3 or 4 slow breaths. Flow your breath to every part of your body equally. Stay connected to how now energy can be communication. This is what's great about our bodies. Our bodies are kind of like a USB, if you know what that is. That's that plug that you put in all these things these days. That gives energy and it communicates. Let's go the other way. So our energy system, I'm switching legs. You can stay there. Arm across and pull. The energy systems in our body are the same. They give fuel, but they also give a message. So when you're breathing, let your breath almost be like a metaphor for that connection. That you're getting fuel, you're getting a message, and also debris. Things are going away, things that you don't need. So you're letting go with your exhale. And release. Let's come around to hands and knees and prepare for downward dog. We don't have a lot of time here. Come to downward dog. So I'm purposely today giving you 2 to 3 combo movements at once. And whether you like chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, or whatever, you pick the one that you like. You leave out Like, I don't like strawberry. You've lost just a little bit of respect for me, right? But I don't like strawberry. So I would leave that part out. I like chocolate so much that, it doesn't matter. Come all the way up. So take your time. Hang out in a forward fold if that's what you like. But then once you do come up, come into a plie. So turn side, turn the legs open. All right, we're going to work these legs. Like I said a moment ago, I'm going to give you a whole, sundae, ice cream sundae of all different things for you to try. So get these legs stuck down into the root, into the feet. Rotate the leg bones out and then just go down up. Just plie. Take a moment to collect energy in the bottom of the abdominals. Take a moment to feel like a string going from your inner knee up your inner thighs and then making a big knot, like a big bow in the front of your core. So that does require dropping the tail down and turning the leg bones out. How low do you go? As low as your hips allow. So don't shortchange yourself. I see this a lot. Everyone says, well, 40 degrees, that's about enough. Maybe not. Maybe your knees, your ankles, your hips are super flexible. If you can do things like bow pose and a low lunge without too much trouble, lizard poses, then you might be able to come down. Don't shortchange that, because you do want to keep pressure on the knee so that the knee stays healthy. There we go. Stay down, stay down, stay down. Here we go. Stay down. Little pulses down now. Little pulses down. All right. I'm going to kind of blow out your legs today, so I'm leaving it to you to kind of go, that's it, I'm done, I'm out of here, I can't do any more. 4, 3, 2, let's come all the way up. Let's grab the weights. How do you do that safely? You can step down onto one knee, grab both weights, or leave the weights out. What I don't want you to do is hang over. Don't do that. Don't do that version. Come to the front edge of your mat. As you bicep curl is palms in, palms up, elbows stuck to the side. As you bicep curl, lift one leg and step back, and then step forward. As you bicep curl, lift one leg, step back, and step forward. As you step back, bend this front knee. So it doesn't matter. You might be going 2 inches back. You might be going 4 feet back. Focus on pose, on posture, head over tail, and you guessed it, abdominals. And what about the breath? Put your mind in the movement so that your breath is moving your core to create what we call it dynamic stability. We work a lot on mobility, so you should be able to at least do the move. You should be able to go to the range of motion, but can you do it with strength? That's what we're adding in today. 4, 3, all right, come back up into plie. So same thing as before. Remember, legs turned out. Use your hand to get that leg bone turned out. Come down to a semi-plie. Bring both weights in front of the chest. And we'll do that pulse again. So pulse, pulse. After 4, then lift one heel. Pulse, pulse, pulse. After 4, you know what to do. Switch. Switch. 4, 3, switch. 4, 3, switch. 4, 3, switch. 4, one more, okay? Last one. Hold the heels down. Now, take the palms and serve them out, pull them in. So from the side, it looks like serve out, pull in, serve out, pull in. Ooh, we got some biceps today. Inhale, exhale, remember the tailbone down, remember those legs spun open, remember pressing through the root. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's come all the way up because I know we're not really used to this. We're going to hold these like little, I don't know, little robot arms. Take one leg out and down. Now my feet are pointing forward. I started out narrow, narrow, narrow. And I'm keeping this leg spun inward, so not turning it out. Keeping the leg spun inward. Remembering the root and zipping. Now begin pulling into the midline. There's so much balance working going on here that even if you're not thinking about balance, you're working balance. So that's what's really good about these one leg standing pose exercises is they force you to work balance and to work the sides of the core for dynamic stability. 4, don't spin the leg open. I know you want to. 3, 2, all right, so other side. Plant and lift, one leg out. Notice as your bicep is doing an isometric contraction, meaning it's holding, it's not changing the measure, metric. It's staying one measure. Move your breath through the working leg, but maybe more importantly, the standing leg. 4. When you exhale, what happens in your core? All right, it goes in. One more. Woo. Let's come back out to that plie. Turn the leg bones out. Sit down. Yes. We're going to take these weights up by the chest and turn, center, turn. So just the upper body. This is important that you're not turning your lower body. Resist. When you exhale, you squeeze in. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Now, if you have weights in your hands, there's going to be a tendency to kind of squeeze the shoulders up into the ears. Stay low with the hips. I saw you stand up. Come back down. Squeeze the abs in. Now, do 2 to each side. So go 1, 2, like a little pulse in center. 1, 2, in center. So it's exhale, center. Exhale, center. How are your legs doing? 1, 2, and center. Sit down. 1, 2, and center. How about 3 more? Squeeze, and center. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Come all the way up. Shake out the legs. Heel to glute a few times. Bring that heel up. Then with the legs narrow, we're going to sit into, I'm going to face you so you can see what I'm doing. Sit into a chair. Then staying down in that chair, step out with one leg, then step out with the other leg. Stay in the chair, bring those legs back in. So nice and slow. Step out wide, stay low. Step in narrow, stay low. Out and out, in and in. Now, if you're like me, you're only capable of doing this with one leg. So we're going to switch those legs after 2 or 3 more so that you get that other leg, a little bit of that habit, that training, discipline. Ignite the core. Out and out. Stay low. All right, if you're ready, use your other leg to lead. So the other leg goes out. Get low. Yes. You guys got it. Use that flame. Remember I said you will survive anything that you've been through. You're unbreakable. You're unstoppable. I want you to believe that. 3 more. Low. Get a little bit lower, like you're like a mime going down the stairs. All right, I'm going to ask you to come up. I'm going to go a little bit off camera here, so let me back up. Bring the elbows together, hold the weights like a little flower, and then push up and down. All right. Push. Push. All right, we're going to do about 10 more of these, then we'll be done with all of that. Because I owe you a nice big stretch. Core pulling in. Exhale, reaching all corners of the body. How about 4, 3, 2, and 1. You kept your elbows together much better than I did there. Let's come down safely. So again, you might do that with like a one knee down. Put the weights down. Come to a seated pose. Be careful. Stretch the legs out wide. Take the hips and slide that flesh backward and outward. Reach up. Inhale. Flex the feet back. Exhale, hinge forward and down. All right, let's take a nice stretch. We have a couple of big muscle groups to take care of. Inhale, exhale. Keep soaking in. Those muscles were trained for about 40 minutes. We've been contracting, 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 and doing really a symphony of one muscle with another muscle with another muscle, working in all the 3 dimensions all at the same time to serve a purpose of, say, movement in a certain direction. Let each of those muscles and then the muscle bundles and the muscle fibers within the muscle group have time to elongate. So it's not just the back of the hips, the back of the thighs, the inner thighs. Use your breath to get in there. One more breath all the way in. And then push to roll up. Down to the back. Make sure I give you plenty of opportunity to take safe stretches. The further up we go away from the earth, the more we have to manage. What we're going to do now is cross one thigh over the other thigh, if that works for you, if you can do that. And then grab both knees and pull them into you. The closer to the earth we get, the more supported we are by it. Those things we were just doing with all the plies and the walking and the balancing, they required an incredible amount of coordination and mind-body discipline. If you can reach down and grab the ankles, try doing that like you're tying your legs in a knot. Give this one long breath. Release, and then switch. The other leg wraps around. Pull the knees in. I think you're feeling that outer hip. There's a big, let's call it a knot, of muscle and fascia that comes together at the outer part of your leg bone, hip bone. No. Grab the ankles and pull them in. There you go. Good, so uncross, drop the knees and hips to one side, stretch the arms up overhead. And then over to the other side. Knees and hips swivel. And then relax into that pose. Remember, we're giving the muscles, the groups of the muscles that interweave, overlap, and intertwine with each other. Time for each of the groups to release and relax and elongate individually and together. Bring the knees back to center. I want you to lift up to bridge pose. So walk the heels all the way into the hips. Really walk the shoulders down and under. As you lift the hips up, I want your goal to be to walk your shoulders as far down, as you can, to really blossom the ribs up. So a nice, good abdominal stretch. Spin the arms really out. So like pinkies up, thumbs out. Little peck. We did some peck work we don't normally do in Pilates. Squeeze the inner thighs, walk the feet closer together, and then come all the way down. Move into Shavasana. All the way down. Give yourself this minute. Take a slow breath in. Gently let it go. For just 1 minute, imagine yourself in a beautiful, loving, safe place. Surrender the body to the feeling that this place gives you. Now with your next exhale, gently release the muscles that are still holding on. And with the next exhale, fully inhabit your space. So without your mind directing or controlling, just let your mind be in the space you have prepared for it. No longer feeling overwhelmed, no longer feeling tense or tight. Drink in the elixir of health. Breath by breath. Moment by moment. And the beauty and the strength of health begins to blossom from within. The beauty and the strength of health allows you now to re-engage with the world. Breathe in health. Breathe out health. Take another breath, a nice deep breath of health. Pause, and then begin to roll to your side. Open your eyes and make your way up. Coming all the way up and aligning the head over the spine over the pelvis, so pelvis is not rocked back. Inhale, circle up. Exhale, extend back. So kind of lift something up overhead and kind of push it back and behind you, opening up the chest. Inhale up. Exhale, we're all done. You did a great job today. I thank you and I appreciate you.